Coach, what's your message that you want to deliver to these college students tonight?
Well, my message is very simple. They asked me to speak because I was a part of this subject on building and sustaining a team and the importance of a team, because I believe I own the best definition for a team, and I believe that a team is a group of people with one vision, with one objective, and by God, one heartbeat. And I spoke at Northwestern last year and had spent quite a bit of the time with the football coach there, and it was the same week, a few days before they played Notre Dame. And they beat Notre Dame. So I saw an interview that night on television, and he said, the only way we could beat Notre Dame was because we had one heartbeat. I said, well, at least you should have given me credit for creating that. I think my message here to the young children here of Youngtown State is to be ready to stand up and speak out about teamwork and what teamwork means, and how everything you do from probably the end of your college career will be based on teamwork. Your job, your family, your businesses, and teamwork is important. And I like to relate that. I cannot help but relate that to the blockbuster movie Remember the Titans. And I think Denzel did a tremendous job. As a matter of fact, he was not offered that position. He was not offered that job. He asked for it. And Jerry Bruckheimer decided that it was Denzel who would best tell the world how people today can overcome their fear of diversity. And it turned out to be okay.
You brought up the movie. What's it like being played by probably the coolest guy in Hollywood?
Well, he's going to kill me for saying this, but his wife told me to tell you that you could have gotten somebody better looking. Hey, if you don't have a sense of humor, you better stay away from around me now. I think if you believe that, you probably belong over at Kent State.
When you look back at the movie and the job you did as a coach, bonding two different societies, getting the African American and the white kids to form that one heartbeat, what was your biggest goal, or how were you able to get that done back in '71?
Well, first of all, I really wanted to win football games. And all of this was shocking to me, although I had to experience the integration problems and the problems that came with integrating schools back in the late 60s and early 70s in North Carolina. I had assumed that we had passed the Mason-Dixon line when I came to Alexandria, and little did I know that I had jumped out of the frying pan and into the fire from North Carolina to Virginia. And here I'm faithful. Now I was named head coach of this newly integrated school over a legendary white coach and a tremendous human being, and probably the best friend I've ever had, Bill Yost. I became the center of controversy, not only in Alexandria, but in the entire state of Virginia. But because Coach Yost and I decided, and I tell the world this, put your differences aside. Celebrate your differences. Make sure that you can stress to people, trust the soul of an individual rather than reject that individual based on the color of his skin. Coach Yost and I decided to put our racial differences aside for the benefit of our team. And in doing that, we were able to build and mold probably the most dynamic football team in our nation. That was a powerful football team. I am so proud of them. But more than anything that I'm proud of was by us showing the world that we could put our differences aside for the benefit of our team. and our team could be our community, then we were able to mold these young men into probably professional, caring people of their chosen community, probably some here in Western Pennsylvania or Ohio, mayors of cities and chief of police of cities, brain surgeons in Mesa, Arizona, and policemen and doctors and lawyers throughout the country came from this football team. And this football team was made of probably 80% of kids from the project. We've got kids who graduated from Duke University, probably, who never had an opportunity to go to school, who are now and then vice presidents of East Africa, and he wants to bring me to Kenya and for to see the animals. And just imagine, this kid comes out of the project. So it's not where you were born, it's not where you live, it's who you are and what you stand for. And I am simply proud to have been chosen not so much by the city of Alexandria, but by the choices of God to lead these young men into what I believe is the greatest life that they could ever have, and I'm a part of it, and I thank them.
What is the one thing you've taken away from your entire life from that season and that team?
The one thing I can take away, I won the greatest state championship the world has ever seen. And I am extremely proud of it because the world didn't want me to win. A black coach replacing a white coach? No. When integration came for the desegregation of schools, the white coach generally and invariably was named the coach of the integrated school. I broke the mold in Virginia. Now you must know that Virginia is probably like Ohio and Western Pennsylvania. There's no better football in high school football than Ohio and Western Pennsylvania. Virginia, I'll put Texas in there, but Virginia in football is revered more lavishly than Christmas. If you're a high school football player in Northern Virginia, which seems to be another world, then you are a very privileged and dynamic human being, but you have to perform. So what I brought away from that was I am extremely glad that I was able, with the help of God, to stand up and speak out against the injustices, and some of those injustices are coming back to fight us today in Charlottesville, Virginia, for an example. And but we will overcome that if we will stand up and speak out against the things that we believe in. I reminded the Titans of a German pastor named Dr. Neumöller. And I was always reminding them of something that he tell me today they thought didn't make any sense to them. Dr. Neumöller said, when the Nazis came for the trade unionists, I did not speak up because I was not a trade unionist. Then the next day the Nazis came for the Catholics. I did not speak out because I was not a Catholic. Then the next day the Nazis came for me. And as I looked around, there was no one left to speak up and speak out for me. So when the opportunities arise for you to speak up and speak out against the injustices of your country, don't fail to do it. Mm-hmm. Because that may be the only time left for you to do it.
What's your feeling with these NFL players that are sitting during the national anthem, like Marshawn Lynch, Colin Kaepernick, Michael Bennett? Is it the right platform, or should there maybe be a different way they should go?
I don't like it, because this is my country too. But the only thing I like about it is that it's his right to do it. And a right is something you're born with. Nobody can give you a right. He is exercising his right And there I stand with him with everything, but I don't like the fact that he does not stand for what is his national anthem also. And this is probably, you know, we're going to get stronger if everybody would believe, because Vince Lombardi says to believe is to have faith. But watch your belief, because your belief becomes your character. And if this is what he believes in, it will become his character. And I will stand for him only for his right to do it. Whether you think it's wrong, whether I think it's wrong, it is his right to do it. And this is where I stand, and this is where I believe.
Okay, it's after 7.
Kind of one more question?
One more quick.
Yeah.
Got a big crowd out there.
Okay.
Big crowd.
Look at all the safety measures that have been put in football since you've been a coach. How far has it come since?
It's come a long way. I didn't even have a face mask. And I got all my teeth. I mean, guys with all kind of technology on their faces that they losing teeth, and, you know, and brain surgeons and whatnot. But I don't know. I think it can't get any better. It's needed. And I was just joking about, no, I wasn't joking about the face mask. I didn't have a face mask, but a little bit longer than a leather helmet. But I am just so proud that so much attention is given to the health and well-being of these young men, because at every tackle or every play could be their last one. And thank God that we'll put in some interest into the health and safety of these young men far beyond that of making millions of dollars. We're putting some of that money back for these young men, and I'm all for it. I stand up for it every day.
One last question. You could probably answer it with one word. Was the last play really a fake 23 blast with a backside Georgia reverse?
It was right formation, 10 counter with a backside George.
All right.
Disney couldn't understand that, so they just put in something that they thought that they could understand.